Hello, July 7th. It's a beautiful day. Well, here's the garden. Let's go have a look. Well, it's been a nice, hot, humid week, and the plants have loved it. Here in West Michigan. Start with the bed here off the deck. The peppers are doing wonderfully. We're getting some peppers. There's been plenty of flowers that have been dropping because of the high heat. We've been up in the 90s. And there's been a lot of flowers that have fallen off, but that's to be expected with the heat and peppers. I don't know if you've noticed, but the peas are gone. They got so tall, we got a big windstorm and they toppled over. And we just harvested them, and the kids enjoyed them. And I took them out of there to make room for the cucamelons, which are getting bigger and bigger. You see the one right there starting to climb up. I left a little bit of the pea plant there, but I've got cucamelons coming up all throughout back there, and now they will be able to utilize that trellis. Sunflower's getting big. It's about up to my neck, so that's going to be nice and tall here shortly. Carrots are doing good. Those will be ready to harvest probably in another month. Well, there it is. Let's go have a look. Oh, it's nice and early on a Sunday morning. It's around 8 o'clock or so. Let's start over here today. And this bed, we've got the kales, and they're doing wonderfully. I haven't seen but a couple worms on all the leaves, so I haven't had to spray BT or anything whatsoever on any of my vegetable plants this year so far, and it's July 7th. But I'm sure that's going to change here shortly. But the kales are doing wonderfully. Swiss chard. Very happy with this bed so far this year. And the radishes I have in the front here, we've harvested some of those, and we're going to have to harvest the rest soon because it's getting hot out, and they're not going to last. So anywho, we've got a nice big sunflower here. That's about the same size as the other one over there. It's about up to my neck. That's doing well. And the ground cherry, as you can see, if you can see it all, it's taken over about half of this bed. It's just intermingled with the kale and the radishes. It's crazy. I'm loving this plant though. It's the first time I've grown it this year. And we're getting some ground cherries. There we go. There's one right there. There's another one over there. So it is producing, and it's full of flowers. So I'm happy about that. Very happy. We've got some zucchini plants down here. I've had nothing but male flowers. So, oh, hold on. Okay, there is a female right there. You see this? That's a little zucchini right there. That's how you can tell the difference. That's a female, and a male would be just a stem, like that. So we got a male and a female. And I haven't seen a single squash bug or any signs of the dreaded vine borer on these. So I'm happy about that, but I'm sure they're going to be on their way as well. And we'll see if we can take care of them when that problem arises. So over here we have the Beauregard sweet potatoes, and finally with the heat, they're taking off. We're here in the raised bed and then in the straw bed, and this is the comparison this year. Well, it's, one of them. See which one does better. And it looks like they're doing about the same to this point. The straw bale might be doing a little better, with the length of the plants. So we will see. We'll continue to monitor that. Okay, we've got the strawberry bed. These are June berries, and it's about done. And I am going to. This is about the 4th year I think we've had these strawberries in here. I think I'm going to rip them out of here, transplant these strawberries somewhere else, and I'm going to utilize this bed for something or other. I'm not sure yet. Maybe some pickling cucumbers that I have in some cups that I have to plant yet. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Down this side over here, the melons are doing really well. Got acorn here. I still have to thin that out. There's 4 plants here. I should probably get that back to 2. And then the cantaloupe, sugar baby watermelons, and a honeydew. They are starting to climb the fence. So they're doing really well now that the heat's here. And I've got some more radishes in front here. The okra is starting to launch up higher and higher. So we'll be having some okra pretty soon. We've got some crimson and some and I forgot what other kind I planted. Some red, something or other. And then we've got a pepper bed over here. I'm not sure if we've got peppers started. I don't know if you can see that right there. Some peppers in there. A couple of different kind of peppers: Jimmy Nordello, Bell, Tabasco, jalapeno, and cayenne. Those are the pepper types I'm growing this year. So I'm happy about the peppers. They're doing better than the couple that I grew last year. All right here we have the tomatoes. These are the steak tomatoes. I got the cage up a couple weeks ago, and got some radishes here. The side here I've got to harvest those. But we've got tomatoes. Steak tomatoes. These are the steak tomatoes. Oh yeah, look at there. Bunch of flowers throughout. And the cage is starting to do its job. Branches are starting to go right through there. Everything's standing up beautifully. So I'm happy with the steak tomatoes. Got some carrots on this side, another sunflower there, and I got a few basil plants in there. Couple basil plants as well. All right, now in this bed, the cherry tomatoes. They're staked up on these 1x2s. They're about 8 foot long. or 8 foot high. And you know what? I've got 10 of them in there. I don't know if I told you this, but that last one right over there, so it looks a little different. That's because it's last year's sunflower stalk. They make great supports, great trellises for whatever you want to use. Look at that. It's just another thing you can utilize out of your garden. We've got the 1x2 here, and then we've got the sunflower stalk from last year, which is just as tall as the 1x2 by 8 foot tall ones. So that's fantastic. So the cherry tomatoes are doing really well. Actually, I'm gonna have to tie them up again. But I've been single stalking them. I think I missed one though. This guy right here. He's got 2 stalks. But we're just gonna leave him alone and see how that works out. And I've got some onions over here. Doing pretty good. I'm gonna have to weed that out. And this was the volunteer onion, which I believe this is a walking onion. Is that correct? I'm not sure. I'll do some research on that. Poopers, what are you doing? Come here. Come here. Say hi. Say hi with your little doggy body and face. Oh, stop digging. The dogs love. I got gophers. Not gophers. I got moles. I like to call them gophers. It's a better sounding word. Anywho, hey Bogey. What are you doing? What are you doing? You gonna go dig more holes in my yard so I can fill them in with sand? Oh. Love them. Anywho, I got a couple of squash here, crookneck, I believe they are, and we've got some coming on. Haven't seen any squash bugs or vine borers on these either. And then we've got another squash plant there, I believe it is. Butternut or something. And then the transplant. The other squash died. It's not doing much yet, but that's the way it goes. Alright, now in this bed we've got, this is the green bean trellis, and as you can see we've got the green beans growing up the fence. These 2 over here just took right off. They're almost up. They are up to the top of the fence already. But we've got all these ones on the trellis here on the back that'll be making their way up shortly. So we'll be having green beans here in the not so distant future. The lettuces and the spinach have been doing great. Haven't seen any bugs or anything. I planted 2 different kind of spinach, and boy, I can't tell you what kind they are right now. But this row here, this row here is fast to bolt. It's starting to bolt, and this one is not. So I'm going to make a note of that and not plant that other kind again. We like slow bolting vegetable plants, that's for sure. Now over here we've got the tomatillos in the back here, and we've got plenty of tomatillos. I've got 4 plants right there. Should be 2. I didn't cut it back to 2. I just left a 4 to see what we got. and we're gonna experiment with that. And then the other ground cherry, which is only about half the size of the other one on the other side of the garden, that's doing well. That's doing very well also. That's starting to produce. So all in all, this garden I'm very happy with. I'm very pleased. Let's go take a look at the in-ground garden. Oh, here's the tomatillos from the other side. Look at all those tomatillos there, and it's loaded with tomatillos. So I'm going to leave the 4 plants in there. The kitty garden's doing well. Let's go take a look at the pumpkin patch. I'm very happy with the pumpkin patch. Alright, the squashes. I've got trombone squash, butternut squash, buttercup squash down this fence line here, as well as down that fence line. And they're doing pretty well. They're doing okay. I imagine they'll take off and start climbing here shortly. But this is the pumpkin patch. The family wanted pumpkins this year, so down the center line I put in pumpkins, and they're doing great. These are jack-o'-lantern right here. I've got 2 plants here. I'll have to thin that out to 1, I would imagine. Jack-o'-lantern there, same issue. Jack-o'-lantern there. The potato plant, the volunteer potato plant, has flowered, and that's a good sign. That'll be growing some potatoes down in there. And then we've got some Connecticut pumpkins there, here. They'll start to vine out here shortly. And here, this little guy's starting to go. We're happy with that. And we've got the volunteer, I think it's squash, might be pumpkin, but we'll see. And then we've got the Atlantic Giants there and there. This, I believe, is the other volunteer. I might have planted this, actually, pumpkin, but it's already made its way over to the fence over there, so I'm happy with that. Back here we've got a couple other squash plants that are starting to trail off, so I'm happy with that. But this is the super huge, supposed to get to be like 18,000 pounds per pumpkin. Just kidding. It can get up to hundreds though, but it is starting to get big, and it is going to explode here soon. I'm hoping. Grandkids are hoping that's going to get quite large. Oh, and I planted another one of those right here in the center of this garden. So we'll see. This is coming along really well. It's coming along really well. We're really excited about this garden come this October, around Halloween. It's gonna be fun. Poopers, stop digging. Hey, what you got to say for yourself? Huh? What you got to say? What you got to say? Good girl. All right, let me go show you the pepper plants in last year's straw bale. It's such a beautiful morning. Here we go. Last year's, yes, I have to mow and I have to trim and I have to weed, and you know, I'll get to that. Everything's looking great. Last year's straw bale, peppers in them this year, and we are getting peppers. Oh, and look at these darn marigolds. I had marigolds up this fence last year, and you can't get rid of these things unless you completely pick them every day. Every day I'm doing that. I love marigolds, but they take over if you let them. Got peppers coming, little peppers. Little peppers. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? Oh, there's a nice size one. What is that? Jimmy Nordello? Is that a Jimmy Nordello? I think that's a Jimmy Nordello. Anyways, the peppers are doing really good. Here we have I think it's a trombone squash. I've got one here, and I've got a couple that I planted on this side over here, and they're starting to take off. They're starting to take off. Everything's looking good. There's a view from the other side of the sweet potatoes, the raised bed and the straw bale there in the corner. And I have a couple of more. There's that great English again. I have some more squash growing on this side of the gate. I think I'm going to try and grow it up this gate and up over a trellis over this gate right here. It's a good day. Garden's doing well. The humidity and heat's supposed to be down a little bit. Look out, guys. Don't run away. Don't run away. You'll never run away. There's the garden. It's been another great week. I've got a lot of work to do. I've got to get that strawberries out of that bed and plant something else in there. I'm not sure what yet, but it'll be a nice surprise for next week. Hopefully I can get all that work done, along with all the weeding and mowing, and you know, it's a good time to be alive if you're a gardener. All right, Bogey, 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 I know you're going deaf, but I'm right here. Say bye. Say bye, poopers. Say bye, poopers. Poopers. Say bye. Bye, y'all.